You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
What is up, all of you wonderful people? I hope you are doing well. I hope life is treating you well. I am SHANTH ENJETI. This is SHANTH ENJETI Art, and I am doing head sketches right now. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I've been working on head sketches for people who backed at the inked head sketch tier. Let me adjust the gamma levels a little bit here, because sometimes it gets a little tricky seeing these. Let me see here. Saturate, that's a little too much. What is going on here? Oh, is the brightness down a little bit? Let me see. That's a little better, actually. Oh, there you go. That's a little bit better. What is up? Yeah, the Waffle Lodge is open. Yeah, that's right, guys. And here's the other cool thing. A couple of cool things going on, folks. We got a couple of cool things. We have got a new t-shirt, which I posted today in the community section, which is the Speakeasy t-shirt. So it's got my Speakeasy logo on it, which I'm really excited about because I've been wanting to put that on a shirt for a while. And yeah, man, just doing lots of work on this stuff. I forgot how much stuff is coming in this campaign in terms of everybody's getting a print of the cover. So what is up, Joe Mello? How are you doing, my friend in mellowness? It is great to see you. I hope you are doing well. I tip my cap to you, my friend. Not my cat. I don't even own a cat. But if I did, I would tip it to you, my friend. It's great to see you. Let's see who else. I saw somebody else pop in, just making sure I see everybody here. So yeah, so I've been working on these head sketches. I've got a magazine-sized box over there. There's going to be a cover print included with everybody's order. There's going to be 2 trading cards. There's going to be a bookmark. I mean, there's so much stuff that I keep setting things up and going, all right, so now I'm going to do a bag and a board for this. I'm gonna do this. It's just been great, man. It's just been great. And I will tell you this, guys. I know I'm late to the party. We've covered this a million times. You know, I may be a day late and $1 short, but I just realized something actually really tragic here. This can't be right. Is it true there are 0 likes on this stream? Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this this stream here. There's no point in going on at this point. So let me just end this, and we're gonna click on the where's the finish this stream. It's heartbreaking, you know, no likes, and I don't know what to say. I mean, you'd think one might even appear, but here we are. All right, I guess we'll wrap this stream up. So, oh wait, there. You know what? There's a like. Never mind. Saved. The day is saved. There's a like. Now I can continue now. All right, we're gonna go on. What a hero. Yeah, since the day Shanth was conceived. You folks don't even know. You don't even know. So anyway, yeah. So I've been working on a lot of that stuff. So I've got all these different components to it, and I mean, my God, man. By the time we finish shipping and all of those costs, let me assure you, you are getting more than your money's worth on this book. It is not only a beautiful book, but I really am proud of our extras that we got for this book. Really proud of them. It's like a giant trading card for the cover print. So if you want to just, you know, put the same size of the cover, 8.5 by 11 cover up on your wall for this, you've got it. Michael Dice, how are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you, brother. How are you? If you want that kind of thing for your house, that's what it is. I'm still on disability with my oh, jeez. Joe, make sure you're taking care of that ankle, man. Make sure you're taking care of it. I'm going to keep reading. Had to put my cat... Oh, my gosh! Margaret down... Good Lord! Margaret down after 12 years, but I still have a good attitude. Joe, I know you always have a good attitude, but let me tell you something, my friend. First of all, I am very, very sorry to hear about your cat, Margaret. That's terrible. Much love to you, man. I know that's tough. Yeah. I mean, it's never easy. I don't think that people... I think people who don't have pets don't understand just this kind of amazing connection that we form with the pets in our lives, the animals in our lives, and that is always rough, man. So I'm sorry to hear that. The other thing is this too, man. I know you know what you're doing. All right, I'm not here to give you any medical advice or anything like that, but all the people I know, whenever they hurt their ankle, right? Everybody I know is a hard worker, is a go-getter, trying to get out there, and just in general hate having to rest on that ankle. And so I would just say this: be as patient as you can be. Take it slow. Give it time to heal. You know, as I said to my wife when she broke her ankle, I was like, "Babe, do not try to start walking on it without the boot until they say it's time, because you know what? You just don't want those things to go longer, man." Yeah, man, it's like, see, there you go, but my wife is taking care of me, and isn't that the best bit of it right there? You know what? I think you're right, John. I'm going to make an exception. We have to make exceptions every now and again here for exceptional people. You do need some cheering up, Joe Mello, so this is for you and your family. God bless you. A cheerleader cheering you guys for everything you do. You know, when you're in tough times, this cheers you up. Here you go, brother. We salute you, sir. We salute you. But that's the way it goes. And so yeah, man, it's been really, really cool to work on all of these. And I don't know how many of these inked head sketches I've done. I've got most of the painted head sketches done, but I want to just walk you guys a little bit through the process here of getting these suckers packed, because it's kind of cool. You guys have watched me draw this book in many cases. You've watched me, you know, share with you guys the proofs for the book. Got my white gloves on to make sure that I don't get any fingerprints on the book. I've got my cardstock that I use here. But I'm going to be getting up a lot during this stream because you guys are killing me, man. Oh, Michael, you got me dying, man. Of course, brother. You're very welcome, Joe. Come on now. You know how it is around here. You know how it is. So let me grab a couple more prints. Here we go. And so, these right here are some of the special features that come with this book, right? So, so this is not a copy of the book. This is a 8.5 by 11 print. And so everybody who has gotten this book, we said if we hit a certain stretch goal, I forget what it was now, but you get a print of the book cover, and everybody's getting a signed book for this campaign. Don't know if I'm going to do that for the next one. So when you get the book, you're going to get, and you can tell the difference between the two because one's got the scoring for the book right there, if you guys can see. But when you get the book, not only are you getting this, but you flip it over, and you're getting this large, exact same size image. So if you want to tack that up on the wall or bring that to your office, whatever you want to do, you've got this ready to rock and roll. And so as I do these head sketches, one of the things I've been doing is just I stack them up in the box here. There we go. So I just basically, I've been kind of a one-man assembly line for this project because, as I say to my wife, she can help me with the shipping, but she can't help me with the head sketches. That is not something that she has got the ability to do. So sorry I'm off camera right now, but have to grab some more books here. There we go, guys. Look at all these books, man. Look at this stuff. This is so exciting, man. I've been waiting to do this for you guys forever. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah, so here's what I've been doing. I've been working on signing these. Actually, I'm starting with the head sketches first, the inked head sketches. I've got 40 plus of those to do. And so those are taking a little bit of time to do. Let me move my desk so I have a little more room to draw here. And ordered all the prints. Just check that over. Right, ready to rock. But I ordered all the prints for the the book and everything I'm going to put in there, and then I just get to draw these, and that's really what it comes down to, man. But it's been a great week because, as I was saying before, I got to this party late, very, very late. But I started listening to Art Bell and his Ghost to Ghost stuff around Halloween. And since then, that's been kind of my late night company. And I know a lot of you guys are like, what? You're just now listening to Art Bell? The man passed away in 2018? That is some evergreen content, guys. I love that stuff. So I've been really enjoying Art Bell. That's been a big part of what I've been doing. So yeah, I've been having a great time with it. Got to grab the index card so I can rest my hand on it here. Let me move this over a little bit so I can rest my hand here, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to work. So white glove holds the cover so we don't get any fingerprints on the cover. And I had this annoying thing happen where the cover slipped out of my hand because these gloves don't exactly have good grip, and it just went nuts, man. So, oh my gosh. Michael Deitch with a $2 super chat. My goodness. Let me add this to the broadcast. Super chat, $2 from Michael Deitch. What type of lighting do you prefer when you work? So I use I just use a regular old artist desk lamp, and it's for me it's just I just use a regular, what do you call those things? The the little metal arm desk. It's the really most basic light ever. I don't really think I've thought that much about what I would ideally do, but man, it's I keep everything really simple. Michael, I just got a trash can for next to my desk. I've been using my lens cleaner for my glasses, and I just have been like, all right, I'll take that to the trash can in a minute. So I'm telling you what, man, it's crazy. But it's a warm fluorescent. So I do use, I think I know what you mean. I use a warm, not a warm fluorescent, but a warm, whatever you call those light bulbs, the newfangled light bulbs. But I always use warm light, not cool light. So that's the big thing. Yeah, is it incandescent, I think? But yeah, so let me send a cheerleader your way, Michael. Here you go. LED, thank you. Charge! Yeah, it's funny you say moving on up. We've been watching the Jeffersons a lot, man. But yeah, man, I'm one of those people who, things like remembering to get a comfortable chair, everything goes into paintbrushes, everything goes into all this various, stuff that I'm need to get the job done. So it's always been tough for me to remember to do stuff like that. My wife gets on me about that. When my wife met me, I didn't take Tylenol. Not because I had any issue with it, but I just was like going, oh, I don't know if it's that bad. And she's like, babe, you can take Advil. So yeah, I'm pretty slow to do things like that. So I can sit in an uncomfortable chair for way too long before I recognize that I need to get a new chair. And so that's been an ongoing thing with me, man. So thank you, Michael, for that. What is up, Hex Allen Comics? How are you doing? It's great to see you, brother, man. How are you? So I've been listening to a lot of Art Bell lately, and when I was listening to just everybody who's talking about that, I think the first time I heard about Art Bell was from Doomcock. So I heard him talking about Art Bell, and then I think I've heard like a few other people. I think maybe John Malin has talked about him before. And it's just great stuff to draw to. And if you're like me and you want to listen to something mellow, I mean, it's really cool. It's fun conversation. It's about, fantastical things and stuff I'm really interested in. And man, so shout out to Art Bell. God rest him. He has been definitely keeping me entertained and inspired as I work on just getting all of the perks drawn and sketch. I have to sign 600 books, man. It is crazy town right here, man. Crazy. Oh my lord. What can you do, really? Let me move my glasses up here. I have a classic episode of Art Bell uploaded to my Rumble channel. I've listened to him since November 1996. I tip my cap to you. Yeah, you guys who have been singing his praises and continue to sing his praises help people like me who kind of missed the boat on it discover it. And it's funny to me how evergreen a lot of those conversations are. They're just fun. They're just fun topics and they're interesting. They don't get trapped in, all of the sort of political, hullabaloo and all that other stuff of the time. I'm sure I know there was periods probably where he did, cover some of that stuff. But for the most part, when you're talking about, those amazing, great ghost stories and just the element of chance in, people calling in, it's just so fun, man. I cannot think of a better way to kind of just chill and spend time doing it. My one of my best friends, actually my best friend outside of my wife, so my wife is number one, and then my best guy friend, he is Nick. He actually did the colors on the Shadow. Was one of 3 artists who did the colors on the Shadow 1941. When I told him I was listening to Art Bell, it was almost like I pushed him into the back of his chair. He was like, had an instant, memory of how much he used to love listening to Art Bell. And he said to me, he goes, "Oh man, I love Art Bell." So yeah, it was so cool, man. I love that stuff. Yeah, you gotta give it up for Art Bell, man. Terrific. Just terrific stuff. There we go. So right here, I think I'm going to just be drawing a little bit of... Oh, the camera's not in the right place. I'm doing a little bit of a mummy illustration right now. So, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like whenever I look at this stuff, I just think, every single person who backed at this head sketched here is getting an original piece of artwork. I don't have a template that I work from or anything like that. In terms of, like, I don't have a list of... Bob Ross did that, God bless him. But not knocking it. What he did was incredible. But he used to have a painting that he would look at while he painted. For me, I've just got a picture in my head, and then that's how I kind of go about it, because that's the only way I can think, and that's the only way I can create stuff. And yeah, I just want to show you guys this process as much as I can, because I think it's great for people, wherever you are at this stage of your process, to get to see what is involved in doing it. We have more of a chance to show that to people who want to see it either recreationally or, or thinking one day maybe I want to try stuff like that. Because I don't know, for me, I was watching some videos the other day of somebody building a medieval book. I was watching people do all this cool stuff. There's so many great channels on YouTube now. Townsend's and all that stuff. And think about this. You guys are here for not only the creation, but for the fulfillment of these products. And I think that's one of the things that Todd McFarlane did incredibly well when he was doing his early stuff, was making readers in a much more difficult time feel like they were getting to see the process from start to finish, and it would help get you excited about the book. I think that's the best thing we get to do here. You know what I mean? Is to share this stuff with you. You know, is to share with you guys this process, or at least for me. You know, that's what Shanth Enjeti art is about, and it's funny. It started on Instagram. I could never have imagined before CG and before, you know, seeing John Malin give his Malin method, man. I could not have imagined doing this kind of stuff. You know, it's nerve-wracking. I have a friend who's got a fledgling YouTube channel right now. His name's Rocky, and you should check him out if you have not yet. He goes by the Groomsman sometimes in the chat, but he's been going by Rocky more and more. And Rocky Ballesteros. And he does a My Wednesday Comics video every Wednesday for my fellow comic book fans out there. And he has a very eclectic taste. He's not buying everything that's on the rack. He's buying the stuff that he's into. And, I mean, it's just so cool, man. Let's see here. You're back. I didn't abuse my power, I swear. There you go. There you go. Yeah, there's all sorts of excitement happening. You know, what can you say? Power abounds. My goodness. But yeah, I mean, just there's so much cool stuff to look at. And when I was saying to my missus today, because we were talking about just some malarkey, you know, I mean, sort of like what Joe Mello was saying about you know, when you hurt your ankle, you know, you break your ankle and you lose a beloved pet. And again, so sorry to hear about Margaret. But this is the thing about it, is that sometimes you need to see stuff that they say that one of the greatest cures for, you know, anxiety or depression or any of that stuff is to just do anything, whether it's cleaning, whether it's work, whether it's whatever. And one of the things that can be really frustrating, you know, when you hurt yourself and you can't do that stuff as much, is to find the things that, you know, you can do. But I was telling, you know, my kids that that's one of the things that is a real lifesaver. Like when I get stuck on, you know, something and I just can't wrap my mind around it, sometimes I'll just go and I'll go, all right, I need to go around the house, empty out all the trash cans, got to do that kind of stuff. I need to organize something right now. And then I need to just force myself to the desk to draw, because however I'm feeling, sometimes I think, oh man, I'm feeling kind of down. What am I going to, you know, do I really, this is the most dangerous thing in the world. Sometimes I can say, do I really feel like drawing right now? Which lasts no time at all. And I'm like going, just go to the desk, dude. And I think the reason why that started to happen is because I know if I go to the desk, I'm going to sit there for the next 7 or 8 hours. Like I can just sit at the desk and work. My wife said to me, I think it was around 6 o'clock today. She was like, she's like, hey babe, you know, do you want to have some eggs or something like that? I'm making eggs. And I was like going, yeah. And she's like, or are you not hungry? And I go, babe, I haven't eaten today. I dined on art today. And she's like, don't do that. But it's yeah, I mean, that's just the way that it works. I get sucked into this stuff because I've been waiting to see myself be able to do a self-published comic since my last one, and this has been the best it's ever been. So grateful for this space and for this opportunity to make great stuff for people, and to make it to the quality that I want to see, make it to the quality that people, you know, want to see. Let's see, I have a planned stream Friday and Saturday, and available to stream this week. Very cool, man. Very cool. Let's see here. Yeah, you have to eat. Yeah, it's true. You do have to eat. But I have to be honest with you. Anyone who looks at me and knows me will tell you I do not look like I'm starving. We got 7 people in here. Please feel free to hit that like, guys. It does help. It really does when you guys do that. So I thank you so much for it. In addition to that, do make sure that you are subscribed if you have not been subscribed to this channel yet, because every bit helps. Because for me, the objective here always is to, you know, get more eyes on the artwork that I'm making. That's the goal. And I do think, I do have to agree with you know, some folks about it, which is, it's like some of that stuff takes care of itself. But my attitude is, just do as much as you can. Try everything, throw it all against the wall, see what sticks, and only when it becomes a question of having to choose can you start ruling things out. But for right now, I mean, it's my attitude is, if somebody's interested in comics, if somebody's interested in art, whatever it is, I want them as a customer. And that is the goal. And, you know, like I say, I'm so grateful for my channel members. Thank you guys so much for your support. You guys are the best. I'm going to have like a loose kind of wrapping coming off of here. There we go. There we go. It's kind of cool. Like, sometimes I like to do stuff like that. I like to try to fill out the sketch area, man. Oh, wait. Oh, he's closing out his campaign on Saturday. I see what you're saying. Holy cow, man. Very cool. What is your campaign, man? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where the hell are you? Hex Allen, I'm sorry for asking where the hell are you, but I have to say it. Hey, Hex Allen, post something, man. Post something in the chat. If you're still here, dude. I figure you are. Hi, JB. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Hello. Do you see that little wrench there? Give me that link. Give me that link to your campaign, man. Make it happen. There you go. Oh, thank you so much, JB. I do appreciate that. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I just like to draw, like to work, man. Like to do this stuff, and thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the like, guys, if you have not yet. Okay, so now there we go. Yeah, this book I'm doing the head sketches in is my first issue of, or my first book, I should say, of Nosfero the Cryptwalker. I did 2 art books, SHANTH ENJETI Art Book 1, Autonomous Treks, and then SHANTH ENJETI Art Book 2, Rigor Mortrex. Both of those books sold out, although that there were some printings on this campaign for people to get. So this is Book 3, and this is a comic book, and it's a first issue of a new character, man. And there'll be a second chance campaign for it, so if you missed it, do make sure you're subscribed to this channel. I will be announcing that stuff here, but check it out. Yeah. Shanth, I have an art question and not Art Bell. Understood. This, Hex Allen says right here, this is your last chance to back Nephilim Squadron. Is that right? Nephilim Squadron? Help me pronounce that. Volume 1. A mind-blowing, hard science fantasy graphic novel. It's an Indiegogo project. There is the link, guys. Click on that link. Please check it out. Consider backing it, guys. Because ultimately, that's what we're here to do. We're here to promote campaigns and sell comic books and build channels. And if you wouldn't mind, by the way, because this is really one of the most important things we do in this space. And I've known Hex Allen. We've been on a stream together, I am certain. What's up, awesome one? How are you doing? It is great to see you, brother. Hex Allen, could you also put a link to the what do you call it? Could you put a link to your YouTube channel? That would be useful too, because then people can subscribe to your YouTube channel and they will get updates, you know, whenever you've got something going on. And that is the big thing about it. That is the big thing about it. All right, let's see what else we got. Thank you, Shanth ENJETI Art. I get no love from Big CG. I'm Big CG. Big CG is a state of mind, my friend, and I'm giving you some love. So now we're erasing that feeling. That's gone. Ahead of the game. That's exactly right, awesome one. Always ahead of the game. Question. When I see single hat shading, I get a visceral positive reaction. Is that like a normal response or just, a John response? It actually is a normal response. Awesome one, dropping Hex's link in the chat. Well done. I tip my cap to you. Let me say this. There's a reason you get a visceral response to it, because when you see cross-hatching, it interrupts the line flow. It breaks up the line flow. And when you see single hatching, it moves. So cross-hatching is, I love cross-hatching. It's beautiful. It can give things a sculptural feel, and it can also create a nice static rhythm in the background. But when people hatch in one direction, it really makes it feel like there's a lot of action in it. And that's something that's always fascinated me. I think Bernie Wrightson used to be a masterful at that. I mean, Bernie Wrightson, man. Of course, Hex Allen, come on now. You're very welcome. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, guys. We're here to get the ball rolling and make stuff happen. I mean, for me, it's all about, and it'll always be all about the quality of the work. You know, it's always about the quality of the work, and keep your eye on that prize, because I will tell you this right now. I remember when I met Narwhal for the first time. I know Sfairbro. I've got his book, Nosferatu, over there. And I just looked at his stuff, and I was like, I don't know what it is about this stuff, man. I just love this dude's work. Actually, I think I kind of do know what it is I like about it. It's good. And you know, Narwhal has just been, you know, hard at work developing his stuff, and then lo and behold, Mark Millar saw his animation and was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. That's what happens, man. Quality will out. So keep grinding, you know, keep making that skill, you know, happen, and you get there eventually, man. It's like, if you just keep working, how do I put this? Not everybody's going to get to the exact same destination, but if you're trying to take your work somewhere, and I know you know this, Hex Allen, but this is for anybody who's tuning in here who hasn't been here before, is that you just keep working. You do not know. I always say this, and this is a big one for me, man. Leave a little room for the universe to come in and do, you know, make things happen in ways you didn't think. Does that make sense? How do I word it? It's like, there are all these thoughts. Sometimes I have a thought of like, what is going to be the thing that I should do that's going to make everything work. And I said to my wife the other day that, you know, you just don't always know what that thing is going to be. Like, you can't just, you know all the time where you're supposed to be, what's going to be the thing that makes it happen. Sometimes it's that little thing that you do that it makes all the difference in the world, you know, and it changes your life. And I think that's kind of been what I've experienced. I mean, when I stepped out of my full-time teaching job, I mean, I was like, it was a total leap of faith. It was, you know, based on a couple of things that I believe are very, very important to me in terms of principles that I did not want to betray. One of them is that you know, I don't believe in teaching or promoting prejudice against any group. Don't care what color they are, and that includes white. I'm not going to be a part of that, because I remember what it was like to hear garbage like that for myself, and I would not do that for other people. And the other aspect of it is that sometimes you find yourself in a place and you think, this isn't the space I'm supposed to be in. You know, and there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for noticing things. And sometimes it's the places that you don't think, you know, you realize, hey, this wasn't the right place for me. That being in those places change you and improve you. Do you know what I mean? You'll be 52 in January. Don't tell me that, man. I've been on a stream with you. You look too damn good for 52, man. I'm 47 and you've got me licked, dude. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Yeah, don't be sharing that around and hurting people's feelings. Love of God. But you know what's funny, though? You say that, and it makes me think of my brother. So, my brother from another mother, without a doubt, Nicholas Egon Janeshag. He is 62 years old. And, or he's turning 62 December 5th. He has the same birthday as Walt Disney, Gabe's granddaughter, and he's just a terrific guy. And he said to me, "What's up, Mighty Geek? How are you doing? Be 50 in December. Congratulations, man. My God, we got some folks in here who know their comics and know their stuff. Let me tell you that much. Hail, Mighty Geek. It's great to see you." And he was talking to me. He had his huge breakthrough in his work in his mid-50s. Actually, I think it was his early 50s, come to think of it. He had worked on Conan covers, like I said. I'd mentioned it before. He he was 1/3 of the colorists on this book right here, which many of you guys know, this famous Shadow book. He had done Star Trek book covers, Conan the Barbarian. He'd done all of this stuff. But he said to me, and it was the funniest thing, even though he'd been professionally printed and been published and all that stuff. He goes, "I didn't learn how to paint." And I said, "What do you mean you didn't learn how to paint? I'm looking at your oil paintings. If that ain't knowing how to paint, I don't know what is." And he said, "No, man." He goes, when I paint, I'm painting trying to hide what I don't know. I don't have the confidence." And he spent some time doing 30-minute still lives in oil. Thick, 2-inch brush. He was a small brush guy. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. You probably do know what I mean, Hex Allen. But he was a small brush guy. He was a 000 guy. Science fiction, fantasy, all of that stuff. And he wanted to... He was like, "I want to try to loosen up. I used to love landscape painting. I'm going to look at more loose artists." And sure enough, after doing that for a while, he did his first large-scale landscape painting. And his work has never been the same. He does some of the finest work I have ever seen him do in his career. And he really needed that time. You know what I mean? He needed that time to kind of... get where he got to. And I think it's the same thing for a lot of us. It's this idea of that you're a finished article at a certain point. I don't know, Hex Allen, you might be able to look this up for me. I don't know how old C.S. Lewis was when he wrote the Narnia Chronicles, but if I'm not mistaken, that was well into his teaching career. And so I always just say, we just don't know. I wonder if he knew he was going to write it before he did. You know what I mean? Like a month or years before he did, or if he just found out in the moment. Does that make sense? Best comic book artists do their best work past 50. Well, look at Jack Kirby for sure, man. For sure. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's a wild thing. Darn it, Shanth and EVS aren't there yet. Things are going to get good. Hey, listen, I think Ethan's doing some of his best work right now. He's doing some of his best stuff, and I think Dale Keown's in his 60s, and he's crushing it, man. There you go. Almost there. Will be like Moses, who started his fame in the 80s. That's right, man. Well, this is the thing, too, is that we could look at J.R.R. Tolkien as well. It's like, think of what everybody kind of knows J.R.R. Tolkien for, and that was nothing that he was truly doing, for his career. That was just something that kind of came along. And yes, you're always building. You're building the seeds. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can tell, it's like, how do I word this? If you guys focus on building something and, working on those skills, the rest will happen for you. My first two books that I did, that I crowdfunded, I did outside of Comicsgate. So Comicsgate was not a factor in those books' funding. And I was able to fund both of them, and it gave me a little bit more confidence for when I came in here. But Comicsgate really turbocharged what I was doing. But I didn't know anybody in Comicsgate when I came in here. Like, I didn't know, a single person. The first person I think I met in Comicsgate, I'd messaged back and forth a few times. I did some videos for Ethan and things like that, but was Michael Bancroft. And he had me on the show for my launch, and he was, like, practically the only person I knew. Yeah, it's absolutely... Yeah, yeah, and I can't throw stones in that glass house, but you're right. It's crazy. Yeah, Joe Kubert did his best Hawkman run when he was in his 60s, 100%. Yeah, it's like and studying art, it's crazy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Boo Croft. I love that. That made me laugh so hard, man. You guys crack me up. But, it's... there's so much room, and now we're not even getting into, when you talk about novelists and things like that. I'm working on a novel right now, and I don't mean a graphic novel. I don't mean there's any drawings in it, but I'm working on my first novel because I wanted to try it. I wanted to try writing a novel because I don't know. I have this theory that if I've tried 1,000,001 things and I haven't found that perfect level of success, then it's obviously something that I haven't tried yet. Does that make sense? And so I made the decision that I was going to pick the most unlikely thing in the world that I had an interest in doing, but something I would not have thought I would have been able to do. And what I came to was I wanted to try writing a novel. And the novel, which is called... actually, I'm not going to give you the title yet. Because I don't believe in giving out book titles, because it's like, why put that out there before you've got the thing done. However, it's a story that's a lot like some of the stories I do in terms of its subject matter, but it's unlike anything that I've done before. Like the hero of the story is in his 60s, and he's a widower, and it's basically about how he gets the call to adventure in his 60s when he is retired, and he's been retired for just a few years, or a year or two, or maybe 3, and then he loses his wife. Just loses her to a stroke. One of those things that happens. And he's got, his adult children. His daughter is expecting. His son is a young man who is kind of, learning his way in the world and all of that kind of stuff. But those aren't the real factor of it. And at his wife's wake, he is called upon by this character to say, "Hey, listen, we've got plans for you. You've got all the skills we need to fight evil, and I'm an agent of God. Let's go do this." And I love that kind of stuff. The book Mastery by Green shows how weird paths in your life can unexpectedly converge towards the end, and you end up... 100%, Michael. You're absolutely right. 100%, man. I love that kind of stuff. What's up, Mr. Monkey Boy? How are you doing? It is great to see you, my friend. And Michael, I've been looking at the book that you suggested to me. I'm going to be trying to see if I can find a really good audio version to look at. So thank you again for suggesting that story. Much appreciated. I wish I had more time to look at all of the great stuff that gets suggested to me in the chat, but I will say this: just because I don't have time to look at everything doesn't mean that you guys don't have time. You might have time to look at one thing that I don't get to look at and all that other stuff. And I would say this, that that one of the most enriching things you can do is put something cool, put some more information, some more knowledge into your life. And I know I benefit from that greatly by coming in here and seeing you guys. And you guys will say, "Hey, cool. Oh, have you checked out this Art Bell thing? And have you checked out this?" I'm like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't." Shoot, I probably wouldn't even have heard of Art Bell if it wasn't for Doomcock, man, and talking about him all the time. And then I did a piece of artwork for Doomcock a little while ago, which was fun to do. And just because you meet people on the internet, he said hi to my son once on a stream, and so my kid really, was a fan of that and thought it was really cool. He's not a kid now, of course, but he was at the time. And people nice to my kids. That's kind of how it goes. You can get yourself some artwork that way sometimes. It's like, yeah, that's just how I operate. There we go. Hopefully I'm still in frame. I'm covering up a little bit, What is up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? It's great to see you. Thought you, Sammy, okay, I thought you drew art. Want to get better. Sorry if I'm misremembering. There you go. Shanth Enjeti Art, laugh out loud. Bing says C.S. Lewis was between 52 and 58 when he wrote Narnia. He died at 64. What a freaking legend. Unreal. All right, Hex Allen. This is the year. This is the year, baby. This is when it happens, man. I'm telling you, people think I'm kidding, but I mean, it's like I'm never kidding about art, man. That's like, I really do. I think about these folks all the time. I think that's what we got to do. Jeremy Bird's channel member, how are you doing, brother? It is great to see you. How are you? Yeah, there's just some, I mean, there's so much opportunity, man. Are you cursing? No, I'm not cursing you to die at 64. I understand that if you end up living to 70 or 80, maybe C.S. Lewis was just quicker than you are. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, man. If I see... I'm going to say that. My wife hates when I say that. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, my attitude is, you know, when it comes to creative pursuits, when it comes to learning a new skill, if there's a skill that you want to learn, or if there's something that you're working on towards mastery... Sometimes it's not even just how long you've been doing it. Sometimes it's the fact that someone suddenly gives you a very useful bit of information that you wouldn't even think of. And it's not even like, oh, you know, here's some nuanced thing. It could be like, I actually had a student one time, and this is some messed up stuff, you know, but it's true. I had a student one time to where I kept watching him just crank his wrist around the most painful way when he drew. And I said to him, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but can you do me a favor? Could you write something with your left hand? And he was like, I guess. And I said, dude, I think you're left-handed. And I think you've just been working with your right hand your entire life, but I think you're actually a lefty. And he was just like shocked by that. And it's like, those are the things you notice when you watch people work all the time. And I was like, you know, hey, man. And I guess there was some history he had of having, you know, written with his left hand for a little bit when he was young. But you can just tell these things. And I was like saying, you know, hey, listen, if you're going to destroy your wrist trying to use that side of your brain, don't do it. I mean, I've noticed that students were colorblind before. And, you know, you catch things when you look at people... as an artist. I mean, you catch that stuff all of the time. It's wild, man. Oh yeah, Gary Martin's got some great inking advice. The Steve Root inking book. Yes, man. I've got that book somewhere over here. I think I can see it, but I got my reading glasses on, so I can't see that far. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I've got it right there by Dark Horse. Yep. I never took out or tried to ink those blue line Steve Root pencils, or you know, blue lines, but man, I really wanted to. This just needs... This just needs a little bit more right there. That's what I want. Yeah, definitely, like, with all these sketches, my objective is to just put as much, you know, just care and craft into these things. And that really is what makes it fun for me. That's what makes doing this fun for me. You know, it's like none of these things are out of a can, or... You know, this isn't, you know, like these aren't prefab. You know, you just go and you just do it. And that's true for everybody. You know, once you start using traditional media, you know, that's kind of how it goes. You don't really have a choice. And I love doing these for fans, man, because that's what makes it, that's what makes it all worth it, man, you know? It's like, I mean, I've gotten a few head sketches in my time. I don't remember all which ones so I was at a convention when I was in my 20s, and I was a big fan of Mike Allred, and Mike Allred was kind enough to ink one of my samples that I was taking around. So he took a Spider-Man drawing. So I have one of my pencils over with Mike Allred inks on them. And that just came from being at a convention. He goes, I like this Spider-Man drawing. Can I ink it for you? And his wife, Laura, was so nice. And Mr. Monkey Boy, jeez Louise. Oh, my God. You guys, like, if I look up for a minute, I'll get into a coughing fit because you guys crack me up so much, man. Let me see here. So, yeah, and as I was saying before, every person who backed the book not only gets a copy of the book, but you get a copy of the 8.5 by 11 print that's basically on trading card stock. It's a heavy board of the cover art. So you get the cover art and you get the, you get the book, and then you get the cover art separately. If you want to pin it up on the wall, then it is yours. You know, that is what we do here. So yeah, that's the fun thing, is to kind of do, you know, that kind of stuff and trying to, you know, make the best product you can. And that's the thing too about this stuff that I always say is that, oh my God. Hex Allen, are you trying to take me out before I even get through the stream? You guys are killing me, man. Literally and figuratively. But yeah, I mean, I've already had a very dicey day today. How many of these do I have done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15. Not too bad. Not too bad. I've probably got around 45 to do, I think, so I'm about a third of the way through. So, you know, it's what it is. Ah, there we go. That's much better. So my wife confronted me today. It happens. Guys, if you're married, this will happen to you every now and again. And she said to me, a package came from Amazon today. Do you want to talk about it? And I was like, no. And she's like, do you know what was in it? And I went, maybe. And she said, it's a large bag filled with small snack-sized bags of M&Ms. And I said, yeah, I do like my M&Ms. So here we are, you know, here we are, you know, no, awesome one. It was not, you know, I'm not that, I'm you know, I don't like, dill pickles. So killing me, you guys. So yeah, that was a thing that, you know, has occurred numerous times. And we got 10 people in here, guys. If you are here and lurking, please hit that like and make sure you're subscribed. And let me have some soda here. If I can open this damn thing. My God. So yeah, I've just been looking at awesome art all week and working on these head sketches. Having a blast, man. I mean, I was working on a Laurel head sketch, which was tricky, man. Painting women is always a little bit trickier, to me anyway, than painting monsters. And I've got this kaiju painting I'm working on, which I think you guys have all seen, but it's got a silver glaze over it so that it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And so yeah, I've got a lot of you know, head sketches I've been working on, but one of the hardest ones to sort, actually, where the hell is it? Is God, I have a lot of artwork here, guys. Well, I got to do 2 of my characters, which was fun. So someone wanted me to do Phantomas, so I'm working on this one right here. And then another fan asked me to do a painting of Laurel, which is right here. And these are a blast to do. You know, painting Laurel is always fun. I mean, she's the character that's kind of named after my wife, so yeah, I love painting her, and she's the female lead, and so that's kind of what it is, you know. But it's like all of these are fit to be, and they probably will be in my next art book. I mean, I've been having so much fun on Frankenstein's eyes on this one. It's just crazy. Yes, that is the final monster from Ultraman Awesome One. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, who isn't a fan of Thomas? That's right. Yeah, we all love Thomas, man. Thomas's makes bagels. I gotta adjust my chair cushion. It's like killing me, man. Lordy B. So yeah, so I've been just working on a ton of stuff, and gotta put on my goal is, guys, is to have my campaigns be so incredibly successful that I can afford a Michael Jackson, you know, sequence covered glove. That's all I want. I don't want a lot, you know. There we go. All right, let's see here. Let me see. If that makes sense. Yes, who was the fan of Thomas? You guys are right. Yes, that is Alien Baltan, I think is the name of the character. I'm not the biggest and most knowledgeable fan of Ultraman. You heard it here first, folks. But I do know a little bit about the character, and one of my former students who backed the book at the, you know, highest level, the highest tier that has the painted head sketch on it. she was a senior. Basically, my favorite year of teaching. It was my first year as a full-time professor. You know, at that point in my teaching career, it was just there was so much optimism and, you know, about education and being able to, you know, to really help people get where they need to get to with their artwork and all of that stuff. It was my favorite year teaching. And so when she asked for that, I was like, of course you can have that. Don't worry about that, you know. Although I've done a ton of... it's like the rules always get a little bit bent out of shape for you guys. When you guys back at that tier, I always try to make sure I can give you something that you're up for and you're interested in. But either way, even these sketches I'm doing in the book are more than just doodles. It's just not... I don't know how to do that very well. I think some people do it really well. I mean, Lord knows if I was, you know, Hergé or somebody and you know, a doodle of Tintin is incredible. You know, that stuff is amazing. But I was just draw. Like, so I call everything a sketch, but it's really, I mean, and it kind of is, but it's really just a drawing. You know, I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Just a little bit more freeform. I tell you, it's the kind of evening right now, if it wasn't raining, where I would just want to drive out to a convenience store. Sometimes I like to do that at night. I'm a night owl. Let me see here. Bedazzler arrives from Amazon for Mrs. Yeah, to bedazzle your drawing glove. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, oh my gosh. Dish has Thomas the Tank Engine drive across a bridge in their Relax channel. Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine was big in this household, man. My son was definitely obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine. We have this place near here called Edaville Railroad. And at Edaville, one of the things about it that is really cool is they'd have Thomas the Tank Engine come every, you know, year at a certain time, or maybe a couple of times. So all the kids would go there and get to see Thomas the Train and take a ride on Thomas the Train around the whole park thing. And I don't know if that's, you guys have those near where you are, like where that would come by. But man, the kids flipped out. That's one of those classic shows, man. One of those evergreen shows. I'm sure they'll do like a theme park thing for it at Universal Studios at some point, because it seems like Universal is just doing everything right now. They've got Dr. Seuss. They've got, gosh, what else have they got? They've got Dr. Seuss. They've got the Universal Monsters are going to get their own land in Epic Universe. Oh, God, I hope I live long enough to see that, because I'm a massive Universal Monsters fan, and I really want to see that. Let me see here. John, okay, no, that's totally makes sense. I must have misunderstood. No, you weren't wrong at all. That's pretty accurate, actually. There you go. Look, people have got good memories in the chat. I'll tell you what. I missed all of that, but respect. I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but God bless you. So yeah, so they have that, and I love the Universal Monsters. I love Boris Karloff's Frankenstein and Bela Lugosi's incredible Dracula. So that's one of my goals, is to at least live long enough to see that, and I think it's going to be done by 2025, and that should be cool to see. If I can afford to go there too, that's the other aspect of it. So I got to live and afford to go there. So that's a lot. Those are a lot of asks for the universe, but we'll give it a shot. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I love how this stuff comes together. I got more comics in me. Oh, we're talking about my poor understanding skills. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it's let me see. Had trouble with the hippy dippy weatherman being the conductor. Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I will tell you this too. When my kids went to go see it, they had this person dressed up like this character, Sir Topham Hatt, I guess is his name. And he was wearing, there's basically just a person in this like plastic mask of it. And my daughter was not having it. She was like, nope, I'm not going over there. I don't want to look at that thing. Move along. Move along. Because it looked like basically a living, Chucky doll or something to a kid. Yeah, my family went on the Polar Express themed train trip and provided cocoa in the cups from the movie. Dude, that's awesome. So let me tell you guys a little secret of parenting here. I don't know if it's a secret, but it was what it was. Something I did. So my kids were obsessed with the Polar Express, and I had one of those like pencil mustaches for a little bit. So they said, those guys on the Polar Express, those waiters serving the hot chocolate in the movie, they look like Dad. And I said, yeah, I used to do that. And so I photoshopped together a picture of me in the movie serving hot cocoa. And my kids were just like telling everybody at school, our dad worked on the Polar Express. It was so cute, but you got to do that. You got to do those things for your kids every now and again. Make things a little magical. That and like leaving Easter Bunny footprints using, shoe polish. Those shoe polish little, where you get dings in your shoes. They have these little triangles that you can just like scrub onto your shoe. So I had that, and I would just like put those in a pattern on the floor and say that they were, they were Easter Bunny footprints. It was hilarious. I love that stuff, man. Yeah, if you've got a love of fantasy in your heart, and you love imagination, you want to just make kids have a really good time, and with their childhood, and that's kind of what it's all about, man. And that's the other thing too. That's why I always like the idea of ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, may it return someday. Is the fact that it's about the young and the young at heart, man. That's what it's about. That's what we got to do. Is try to inspire people, and that's what this book is about. This is a crazy sketch. I didn't know where this one was going at first. It's turning out to be something. I don't know what that is, but it's it's like a dinosaur, but I'm like an idea of a dinosaur. But yeah, here we are. That's wild. I did have a dinosaur drawing book when I was a kid, and if I looked at it now, I probably would be staggered by how simplified it was. But when I was a kid, it just blew my mind. I was like, how do these artists draw these incredible dinosaurs? And it had like the ellipses, like draw this and then draw that. But I've never forgotten it. I still think that book, as funny as it is, that I saw when I was a kid, probably like 40 something years ago, still impacts the way I draw dinosaurs today. It's weird how those books can do that to you. I actually looked for a book almost my entire adulthood that was a pretty famous book on dinosaurs. And it had a drawing of a saber-toothed tiger in it that influenced me so much, and I could never find the book. And finally I tracked it down, ordered it on eBay. It's completely out of date, Polar Express is a little creepy for that CG, but it's a wonderful kid's story. It's It's such great stuff, man. I love imaginative work. I love fiction, but I also love reconnecting with that stuff that inspired you when you were a kid. Like I said, when I was telling my best guy friend, who's my fellow artist brother, comes from comics and science fiction, is just an incredible painter. But I was telling him about, I started listening to Art Bell. It was like he immediately had all these incredibly happy memories of just working late on illustration deadlines and listening to Art Bell, and he started telling me how much he loved it. And it's funny because, people sometimes can get apologetic about it. They're like, it's all crazy stuff. But no, man, that's the stuff that's good. That's the stuff that you love and you connect with. It doesn't mean, you can't change and you can't, evolve. Like, I do think that there's something to be said for, using your fiction as a roadmap for your adulthood as opposed to keeping yourself in a permanent, childhood. You can be sort of, you can have the quality of youth in your work without being childish, which is kind of important. Like, to me, pulp is very much like that. It's got a very, you can't overthink it. You can't try to make it make too much sense for everybody. It's got to make sense in its own sort of way. But the story of something like the first Star Wars movie or any of that stuff, or, some of the Ray Harryhausen movies, it's like that stuff is designed to kind of carry you away a little bit. And you got to be cool with that. You know what I mean? You got to be cool with it. And that's what I think people need to kind of connect with. I don't need, when one is trying to connect with, an audience, it's like, it's a hard thing to kind of just go, oh, like, what's the word I'm looking for? If I was to give anybody art advice, which I'm reluctant to do because I was a teacher for, almost 20 years, 18 years, my God. Got my master's degree in illustration, lectured at various companies, lectured at MIT, Microsoft Games, Wellesley College. Of course, I taught at Rhode Island School of Design, all of these places. But if I was to give anybody advice for an art career where how to do this kind of stuff or anything, I would say it's the most important thing to know is it's not a safe to be cracked. It's not a game to be played or something to be figured out, because if you do that, you're going to be miserable. First of all, figure out whether it's something you even want to do. That's the biggest thing in the world, because it's a ton of work. Everything is a ton of work. And so, make sure when you're picking the things that you're going to do that they're things that you can work at and not quit. And I know that Hex Allen knows what I'm talking about, but a lot of us have been doing this, for decades, since we could hold a pen or a pencil. And you got to want to do it. You got to be into it, I'm wearing elf socks. Rock out. Awesome one. Yeah, you got. Oh, I've been listening to some Christmas music. I do love Christmas music. I absolutely do. Yeah. I've got my favorite Christmas albums, and I have to listen to them. And it's like my favorite Christmas song. It's like gotta have that stuff. For me, anyway. I like a lot of the classics. There we go. It's starting to come together now. Let's see if I can get this to work. Go. There we go. Now we're coming together. I mean, look at how much fun we can have. It's so much fun, man. Smiling is my favorite. Amen to that. Yeah, make work your favorite. Yeah, absolutely. I have a Christmas album with songs done on steel drums. Very cool, John. Yeah. I like, one of my favorite Christmas albums. There's a couple of them. But I like this Canadian group called the Good Lovelies. They do some really great classics. They do some Andrews Sisters, stuff in their work. They've got really great harmonies. And but they do a lot of the classic kind of radio Christmas songs. And then I like Harry Connick Jr.'s Christmas album, When My Heart Finds Christmas. And let's see, what else do I like to listen to? I like Chris Isaak's Christmas album. And yeah, I got a bunch of them that I really like. Oh, of course, and the best Christmas song to me is, of course, the Christmas song. With Nat King Cole, man. You cannot beat, for me anyway, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Like, freaking amazing, that dude's voice. I love that stuff. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And then my favorite Christmas song, or my favorite Christmas season song, I guess you could say it's not typically a Christmas song, is of course the song that ends my favorite Christmas movie, which is Die Hard. So I like Let It Snow. That's got to be one of my favorite Christmas songs of all time. Period. You know, I mean, get out of town. Such a great song. I love it. And I mean, whenever it snows, that you know that's on at my house. That's all I got to say. I'm playing that song. That's the way it is. There we go. Yeah, this will be a pretty cool head sketch for somebody, I hope. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like if you haven't yet. I think you guys all have, because we got 9 people in here and we got 11 likes. And so that is fantastic, guys. I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And Michael Dice, thank you so much for that $2 super chat for that question. I really do appreciate it. I know you know this, but all of those things go to buying more brushes and being able to do all the things we're doing. And you know, like I said, I just ordered today. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this, and then it just sort of dawned on me that I wanted to. But I just ordered some little round stickers with the Made with Liberty in the USA icon on it. Hopefully they'll work out great, that I can just close all the books with, because I want it to look great, man. Let me see here, John. Well, I attempted one earlier. Wasn't too bad. Could use some work, though. Practice makes perfect. That's right. Alone in My Apartment. That's my favorite Xmas song. I sing it every year. Bah humbug. I love it, man. Let me say, speaking of bah humbug, speaking of A Christmas Carol, A Christmas Carol is one of the greatest stories and books ever. Not only did it define our modern understanding of Christmas, even more importantly than that, it's a ghost story for Christmas. It's so bananas. It's a scary story for Christmas. And actually, right over there on my bookshelf, because I do have a lot of my favorite fiction around, I have a facsimile of the original Christmas story. It's a Christmas Carol. It's a tiny book, and I love it so much, man. And when you read it, it is, if you haven't ever read it, the story is really intense. I know a lot of people have seen adaptations of it. I have seen it in, the theatrical performances of it. And I have to tell you guys, wow, that guy was a special author. He saw a lot of life, man, and he really did some crazy stuff. There's some really great authors that if you haven't, incorporated them into your holiday season at some point, they might be worth it. There we go. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I think I might have been in my 20s, maybe? I can't remember. I think I was in my late teens. I met Jeff Darrow at a comic book shop in Atlanta, Georgia, or outside of Atlanta, Georgia, and he did a head sketch for me inside of my Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot. It just made my life, man. It was so great. I have 1 or 2 books from the 1800s. Whoa, awesome one. Nice, dude. That is sweet. That is absolutely fantastic. There you go. Yeah, keep it up indeed. I have, 1, 2, I just want to read this. For some reason, with update, it only shows like no more than 10 likes on any stream. Yeah, there's always skullduggery afoot. You guys know. I've got some facsimiles of the original that, look like the original Hound of the Baskervilles and A Study in Scarlet, because my first novel only has one goal. It's to be a story that works and to match the page count of A Study in Scarlet. Like, because I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, so I really wanted to do that. So here's hoping that it works out. But yeah, when I met Jeff Darrow, he did these beautiful linear head sketches, like these Linclair head sketches, and I just was like, oh, this shit's so cool. I gotta do that. And one day, and of course now I do my own sort of version of it, but that's why I like to do detailed head sketches, is because, and Mobius, I've heard stories of Mobius doing head sketches, and it's just like he would just get into a zone and just draw it. And I guess until I started doing it myself, I didn't really understand it. Like, how do you just get into a zone and draw? Because I'd get so nervous. I'd go to conventions and someone would be like, and I will not do this, so don't ever ask. Hey, can you do a drawing of my girlfriend from this photo? And I'm like, I don't really do portraits at conventions, kind of thing, but I would always do them because that's how I was. But no more. That stuff is way too hard. But I definitely like to get into a zone so that you get something that I may not even remember drawing it, but it's a true original. No one else has anything like it. It's not based on anything in terms of another drawing I've done. It's just where I was in that moment. There we go, guys. Another one bites the dust. What is up, Michael? My gosh, my Michael's runneth over. It is great to see you. I tip my cap to you, sir. How are you doing? Thumbs up indeed, man. How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday morning where I am, and hopefully Monday or night where you are? It's great to see you, my friend, and of course, channel member Jeremy Burt's holding it down. Holden Court here. Bretsky the Great's in the house. It is great to see you. Salute, chat. Salute, artist extraordinaire Shanth. Thank you, Bretsky the Great, for being here, my friend. It is great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah, 1:37 a.m. where Awesome One is. That is how it is, man. Yeah, that is how it is. Yeah, I was joking about this. What's up, Moromi? How are you doing, brother? It is great to see you, man. Yeah, for me, it was Tuesday. Yep, that's right, man. I've been there. What is it we always say in the South? Brother, I've been there. I got into a little bit of a Southern accent today because, oh my gosh. So some young punks have been egging my sister-in-law's house. So for fun, she decided to send me the video of this happening. And she was like, another day, this is egging number 3. And me being me, I downloaded the video, brought it into iMovie, boosted the audio, framed it, cropped it, adjusted things, and made it so that it was practically forensic. What's up, Skip Edwards? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you, brother. Look at all you fine guys. We got some Crypt Walkers, past and present, hanging out in here. It is great to see all of you guys. And but I was joking about how every time people come into my chats, I'm always like, "Yeah, it's great to see you, man." And I mean it. It's just the way I am. So anyway, I blew up all this video, and so then I started making jokes where I was playing Kevin Costner, doing Kevin Costner, in JFK, and I was going, "You can see here that the 3 boys now run up, back into the left, back into the left," and I go, "Obviously, you can see that the boy in the background is not holding eggs. He is holding up his cell phone, taking a video. The other 2 boys are using him to reload. You can tell by the angle of his arm." And I just was going into this ridiculous, take on it. And I said, what did I say? Oh, God, there was like all this crazy stuff. And I go, "These 3 boys, not only did they not realize that there was a Ring camera set up in front of this house, but they did not realize that this woman's house, her brother-in-law, has a severe form of crazy autism and would be analyzed in this video." So I was able to give her the model and make of the car. I was able to find a part where one of the boys says another one of the boys' voices by boosting the audio, or says one of the other boys' names, and I boosted the audio, and it was hilarious, man. It was ridiculous. She was like, "How did you put all this together?" Yep, that's how it happens. Yeah, it was crazy. And I just did that and my wife was just dying. I would not stop. She's like, "So is this going to be you all week?" And I said, "It might very well be me all week. The question you have to ask yourself is, why was this particular gentleman in Houston around this time? You can clearly tell that were there not 3 boys, there would have been less eggs. I mean, I was just off my trolley today with that. Because I love to help people figure out crazy stuff. And she hadn't even heard half the stuff I noticed when I was like listening to the video and taking it in. I go, oh, like he says his name. And he says one of the boys' names. And she's like, what? Where did you find that? And I go, oh, look. You can tell that's their vehicle that's pulling up because it stops and you can see the brake lights go off. And I go, and they're driving, you know, it's so ridiculous, man. It was crazy. So that's how it goes, man. Where is it? Eric Humphel's in the house. Hey, Eric, what's up? How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you, man. Yeah, the neighborhood kids where I was trying to make a house. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, you know. Oh, he's playing his outro videos. Man, he's wrapping up early. Yeah. What is up, Jordan Horst? How are you doing, my friend? It is great to see all of you guys, man. Holy cow. I love that icon, man. Choke out. What is up? Yeah, Malin's outros are absolutely fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. Although I do like Ethan's Gumby outro, man. Whoever did that. Actually, I think, what's the name of the guy who did that, man? He's brilliant, man. That stuff is great. So there we go. Here's another inked head sketch, my friends. Here is another inked head sketch. If you have not liked yet, do hit the like. I think all of you guys have done that. You guys know, you're pros. But this is another inked head sketch for the interior of Nosfero the Cryptwalker, which we are getting ready to ship, man. We are getting ready to, like, I've got a lot to do, prep work before we ship it. But this is what we do. This is what we do here. So if you have backed this book, even if you did not back it at the head sketch tier, the thing to remember, whoops, got it, these upside down. Even if you have not backed it at the interior head sketch tier, all of the books on that signatory page are going to be signed. And every single book, because we hit this stretch goal, is not only going to get the bookmark and the 2 trading cards, but it's also every single book is, and we ordered 1,000 of them so that we have them, is going to come with a gigantic scale. Is that one got scuffs on it? Yep, it's got scuffs on it. That one's not going to work. Is going to come with a gigantic scale trading card. And the gigantic scale trading card is going to be a print of the cover. So everybody is going to get, who backed this book, because we hit that stretch goal, is going to get this print right here. So you're going to get the cover print. You know, oop, you backed a head sketch, Jeremy Burtz. Yours may be here. I may have drawn it already because I've drawn, what will this be? This is number 16, so I've got like probably like 45 or so to do. So I'm trucking along on these things because I love doing them. I've been taking breaks to work on and tighten up the painted head sketches, you know, for all you guys who know these. So I've been taking a break to do painted head sketches between all of this stuff. And ordering, I wanted to order some custom stickers. So for all of the watercolor, you know, or I should say painted head sketches, this is all the work that I do to make sure that everybody gets something that they're going to be excited to have. And the grind don't stop, guys. I have probably done more artwork. There is my man, Rocky Ballesteros, a.k.a. the Groomsman. What is up? He is a longtime animation veteran. If you have not checked out his channel, guys, drop your link to your channel in there. He does Wednesday comics. My Wednesday comics, I believe, is what the show is called. And he also is probably going to be having some art videos soon that are going to be, and if you want to see something terrifying, I don't know if I can show this. Rocky. There you go. There's his YouTube channel, guys. Click on that and subscribe if you haven't, man. He is in this space. He does incredible work. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel. But if you're curious to see a young SHANTH ENJETI back in the day and a young Rocky Ballesteros with our man in Amsterdam, Arvin Batista right there. This is us just after we graduated college, when we had just escaped from Alcatraz in San Francisco. For those of you guys wondering, we escaped from the rock. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Rock. It's happening. See, my wife found all of these pictures from back in the day, what she refers to as, and you can see I'm wearing a Krispy Kreme hat, but these are from back in much thinner days. Much thinner days, man. These two cats, at some point, were hanging out in Providence in Lovecraft country. Take a look at those two kids. That was before my South Asian face spread. Just ballooned me up. Yeah, I'm torturing you today, man. So, yes, in the chat, Mr. Rocky Ballesteros, animator extraordinaire, he's worked on everything. He's worked on Star Wars, he's worked on Happy Tree Friends, he's worked on so much stuff. You have got to, yeah, hey, we're actually studs. Yeah, we are studs. There's no getting around it, man. So, yeah, so all of these are my painted head sketches, for those of you guys wondering. Yeah, it was funny, too. I was listening to Ethan talking about this, and it's kind of true that the thing that all of my friends have in common is you know, they're highly skilled. I think that's a really important thing. So my buddy, you know, Nick Janeshake, he was the colorist on this book right here, one of 3 colorists. He does some incredible stuff. So yeah, like, it's great to have people around who really know what they're doing. You know, my friends who work in animation, my friends who work in comics, and of course, Mr. Ballesteros is going to be working on some comic stuff for us. We've been talking about this sort of stuff, or for himself, but for me to enjoy. It's for an audience of one. That's how all that stuff works. But yeah, it's great talking to him and talking comics again, man. And he's going to be a regular. He is a regular in the Waffle Lodge. So when I do Waffle Lodge streams, he always has an invite. He has a special intro. That is what it is. Oh, cool, Michael. That's awesome. I have an old 1970s picture of Alcatraz from a family trip while Dad was on tour. Oh, with back in the day, the Chrysler Corporation. Very cool, dude. That's awesome. What kind of Star Wars nowadays? Working on Star Wars could be a good thing or a bad thing. He's escaped Star Wars. He's here now. He's doing indie stuff. What's up, DJ Close? How are you doing? John, I'm good. I was wondering. Stud Wars. That's 100% what it is. So yeah, so we're doing head sketches for Nosfero the Cryptwalker. I do have a reader copy, which is to say a copy that did not, or is that a reader copy? Yeah, it is a reader copy. That did not pass the quality control here for me. I messed up when a pen hit the sketch. But for those of you guys wondering what all this Nosfero the Cryptwalker stuff is about, it is a Lovecraftian gothic romance comic. And it's fully painted, and it is a thing of absolute beauty. So yeah, it's got werewolves, it's got monsters, it's got creatures, and it is one of the finest looking comic books that you're gonna see. Unfortunately, my camera is adjusted right now to show ink work, so it's blowing out the colors on this stuff. But if you missed it, there will be a second chance campaign at some point, but once I get all these shipped out. But for those of you guys who got it and didn't miss it, lettering by the great Eric Weathers, it is a thing. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here, let me do this. I'm just going to adjust the gamma a little bit. Oh, I'm on the wrong dang camera. Oh, man. It hurts. It hurts sometimes. Let's bring the gamma down. There you go. Now you can get a little bit of a better sense of what this book looks like. So this right here is what you are getting if you backed Nosfero the Cryptwalker. A fully painted, awesome, magical, badass comic book with heroes, sword and sorceries. Boobs, you know it's true. Speaking of, let's make sure that you're fully, you know, represented there. Transparent nightgowns, werewolves. You know, the only thing that could make this book better, if you really think about it, you know, because we've got faith, we've got beauty, sexy characters, and all that kind of stuff. The only thing that would make it better is if John Malin was in this book. Wait a second. Hold the phone. John Malin is in this book. This is the greatest comic book ever made. Got Eric Weathers. What do you guys want from me? What can I do for you is what I'm asking. What can I do to make your life full nudity? Yeah. Well, I get as close as I can get. I get as close as I can get. You know? Yeah. Oh, my Lord. You guys crack me up. God bless you. Thank you for being here, by the way. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So let's continue with these head sketches. You guys tell me how your day is going. I hope everybody's doing well. Because yeah, I'm having fun making comics, man, and I'm making comics because of Comicsgate. I'm making comics because of the folks who I've known now for a great number of years, making videos and doing things, and now all of you guys have backed this book, brought it to life. Those of you guys who have subscribed and become channel members, I always like to put my channel members' names in the credits at the end of the show, so thank you, channel members who are here. For all of you guys who have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to this channel. We've been doing quite well. We've been growing a lot this month. It's pretty cool. Eric Huffle's making me laugh, man. Darn it! Oh my God, you guys are killing me. Yes, indeed, guys. Back Battle Brick Road by my brother, Eric Weathers. He is one of my closest friends in Comicsgate, man. He's just a terrific dude. He's a tremendous dude. Yeah, sub or else, says Awesome One. I agree. Sub or else. You know, that's what you got to do. But yeah, he's Eric Weathers, man. The great Eric Weathers is a rad Chad. Don't ever get it twisted. That is the way it is. And if you don't understand that, I don't know if I can help you. I don't know if I can help you. You know, and now officially, dare I say, a Comicsgate King. Well done. I mean, Eric is amazing. He's lettered every book from the start, from the jump, starting with his first project he did for John Malin. So it's terrific to see him, being as successful as he is and doing all the great work he's doing. Let me just check this. Manual focus seems a little off. Let's see, right there. That's a little better. Gonna move this light so I can get to sketching. So here you guys go. This is the process. If I can get this to work. And so what shall I draw now is the next question. Let's see. Let's draw something a little crazy. See, look, whenever people are in here and I'm drawing, it's almost impossible for me not to dip into a little bit of a Bob Ross. Let's draw something a little crazy. Let's have some fun. As if there was ever a time when you weren't having fun with Bob Ross. I mean, my God. Talk about a legend. But thank you guys so much for being in here. This book is tight. It's coming together, man. It's really looking good, and it's coming together. So this is pretty much what my process is like. I've got about 45 of these inside the book sketches. I had 10, I think, 10 head sketches that were available that all sold, which are the painted ones. And then the inked head sketches, I have about 45 of these, I think. And I am coming along. I'm almost done 20 of them now. And the goal for these, as with everything we do here at Shanth Enjeti Art, as for everything we do, is to make stuff that is beautiful and detailed and next level craftsmanship. It's funny, and I was just thinking about this. When I used to go to comic conventions, I'll never forget, I used to go to comic conventions and be the coolest thing to be 20 people back in line and see an artist that you were a fan of drawing. And now you guys are hovering over my drawing board. You've got the best seat in the house. I can make this the best seat in the house. I can make it even better than the best seat in the house. I can do things, like this. I can zoom that's a little nerve-wracking for me, but I can zoom way in on this stuff. So you guys get more than the best seat in the house. You guys can actually watch this stuff happen, bird's eye view. And that's what I love about this space, is this is something that I would never have been able to do back in the day when I was looking at all of my favorite artists at conventions and I was backing, or I should say buying books. I could have never imagined that I would have been able to, get this kind of view. You had to buy a VHS tape of Todd McFarlane or Rob Liefeld or George Perez drawing, or whoever was on those comic book greats videos. You didn't get a chance to do this kind of stuff, and now we do. Now it's almost like a 24-hour-a-day convention, and that's what makes it all so fun. So yeah, we're gonna make some crazy creatures here. There we go. And like I said, I never really know where these things are going. Every single one of them is, you know, designed as I draw it, so I don't really know what these sketches are going to be. I'll start with something that is a little bit loose, and it's like almost a little too cute, dare I say. And then I'll try to, you know, like, you know, play around with it, and I'll go, and suddenly it becomes terrifying, and that's kind of that's the fun thing about this stuff. I wasn't sure where this sketch was going when I started it, and then I'm like, okay, now we're gonna have some creepy, you know, I like when I draw. Every now and again, I like to draw, and I like drawings where the gums of the character are almost as big as where the teeth are. It just gives it that creepy little, it's like baby teeth, fangs. It looks like a piranha or something, man, and it's just nuts. So I love that kind of stuff. Let me move that there so you guys get a better look at it, man. That's the fun of it, right? Let me see here. Mr. Monkey Boy, sorry. Stephen Rockwood's not. I know, I'm always sorry Stephen Rockwood's here. You've got to have Malin draw a Greylock for you. Yeah, I totally. Well, you know, John has been really terrific to me. He's a really nice guy. When I did the Omega Storm logo, which for those of you guys who backed that book, you'll be seeing it soon. But when I did the Omega Storm logo, which was just for fun for a trailer, and then did a trailer, John pays me for everything. Like, you cannot convince John to not pay you for something he asks you to do. He's that kind of dude. And it's really funny, man. It's very Michigan. And but John is John's been really good to me and really kind, and that's why, I mean, not to mention being the first man over the wall. So I just it was my pleasure to you know, to name a character after him, and he's in the back of my Onward section. It's John and Ethan are the first two names I thank in there, man, because you got to, man. You got to give it up. Those guys went through a lot, you know. I never realized how weird it is you hold your pen. Yeah, I hold my pen very weird. Thanks for making me aware of that, you know. I mean, God, that's painful. You know, you always hurt the ones you love the most. You know, Omega Mission, God's Eye, By the Dawn. There it is, guys. There it is. Close enough. Yeah, there you go. Rocky Ballesteros, as a freelance artist, is your sleep schedule as sketches shots? I already know the answer to that. I already know the answer to that, man. Holy cow. Yeah, I know the answer to that one. I know it's not as bad as mine. He has been mocking my sleep schedule for as long as he's met me. I mean, he just thought I was just going to die by the end of freshman year, because he was just like, this guy never sleeps. God, oh, it was a nightmare. Everything was a nightmare. Yeah, don't take health advice from me. Yeah, no, how's your father is stepping to my defense. No pen holding shaming, please. That's what I'm talking about. None of that. You know, none of that. We can't have that. That's just not how we do things. My goodness. Let me check sound here. Sorry, I think I just banged into something. Input, is that still good? Yep. Output is good. Just making sure I have all this sorted. There we go. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, we're running a TV station as we work here. You know, it's just non-stop madness. Non-stop. Yeah. Yeah, good. Mock away. Yeah, you gotta mock away sometimes. I remember how terrifying it was for me to sign posters. Yes, that's right. For Happy Tree Friends fans at Comic-Con, I drew one sketch for someone, and when it came to the next person behind him, he said, "No thanks." Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the fact that you're here, you are kind of on. Jordan Horst is saying it. Most CG fans now have the same sleep. That's 100% true, man. 100% true. Yeah, and when we the next Waffle Lodge, I'm really hoping that you know, that the groomsman / Rocky and I can do some crazy sketching and some fun art, because I want to see some of his ideas for stories. I want you guys to see what this dude is up to. He's one of my favorite artists, man. It's craziness. You know, he's done some really cool stuff. And it's weird to think about, because we would just draw together. We spent one summer, I think, after freshman year, basically drawing together and going to comic shops. That's pretty much all we did that summer. And, you know, he would come up with a character, and I would come up with a character, and we just draw all this crazy stuff, and we haven't changed that much. I mean, it's like when we get together and we talk comics and stuff like that, it's like with all the people that I've known for a long time, it's like no time has passed. It's a weird aspect of that. But you guys probably know when you come into these streams, you know, it's like I feel like I've known you guys all my lives, but all our lives. But the thing is with him, man, it's like I actually have known him for a giant chunk of it. It's weird. Just kind of fall back into our routine of just being ridiculous. There we go. So that's starting to come together. There we go. You know, because it's like with all these head sketches, man. Yeah, it's a kung fu grip I'm using. Thank you, awesome one. Thank you. SHANTH ENJETI art, I replied that I hold pens the same way. Teachers tried all through school to change my grip. I think I have control, detail holding it like that. Yeah, I'm the same way. That is math that doesn't compute. Yeah, I hear you. My very first place when I got my driver's license was to a comic shop. Amen. I did the same thing, man. I did the same thing. I went to a comic shop with when I got my driver's license. That was one of the first things I did. Yeah, it was to go and get some comics. I was like free now to go to get comics. That was my great joy. And it's weird because when you're doing these sketches, you know, you got to kind of just be in a zone. Like I was looking at this sketch and I was thinking, okay, that's kind of interesting. Like I kind of like where that's going, you know. And then I was like going, you know what though? Like it's like forget it, man. The sketch just needs something, you know. And you can you know, just like wrap something up and make it look like something that's very pedestrian, or you can just go for it. And this sketch really needs me to go for it right there, you know, because whoever gets this sketch is not going to see all the other sketches I do, and so they only have this one sketch, you know, to kind of, you know, that's theirs. And so I want to make it something that's really cool, and I want to just push things a little bit further, if that makes sense, you know, take it in an interesting direction, because that's what's going to make it interesting to them, and that's what's going to make it interesting to me, man. I'll sleep when I'm dead is right, brother. Never forget that. That's right. You didn't make A's, but instead B's in school. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, man. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, we were crazy, man. We had fun. We had a lot of fun, and we still do. I mean, that's the crazy thing about it. We're still psyching each other up, man. When I saw Rocky's YouTube channel, I was so, and I still am. I'm so freaking proud of that dude, man. Because it's like we've got kids, we've got adult kids, we've got, you know, both of our kids are like, you know, our old eldest, which mine are both older, are, you know, are at this point where it's like you need to, you know, always kids need attention, but we got a lot of stuff going on, and, you know, it's like for us to sit back and kind of go, all right, we're gonna do this and make this stuff happen. It's good to have people like you guys in the chat and each other, you know, just psyching us up for this stuff. Because that's really what it comes down to, is you got to keep that enthusiasm. It's really easy to get bogged down in life by the stuff that really does not matter. You know what I mean? It's like, and I you know, politics and all that crazy stuff. Art really is the fuel for the spirit, and you just need that stuff, man. You need that stuff. You're killing me. That's right, man. John, actually not true. I was an A student. Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. Yeah, you gotta get it done. You gotta get it done, man. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I realized that my bad grades were not that bad. That's like one of those things that you kind of realize early on. Yeah, we definitely did not get where we got by being praised for our successes as a rule. At least I didn't. I was always just like, art was something I didn't even study when I was in school. I just like, I had to find a way to do it around my academic stuff, which is the way that it is sometimes. And so I always say to people, you know, just if you only would do your artwork if people are telling you, hey, you should be an artist, and if you imagine that's what it is that every successful artist comes from, just read a few more artist biographies. Some people had that, some people didn't. It's all about what you do with what you have. That's really what it comes down to, and we're still drawn after all of these crazy years. Yeah, it's funny, when I started with the eye for this character, I had no idea where this was going. Just having that realization right now. But this is somebody's head sketch, man, and it's like, there's the signature line right there. I gotta make it great, man. My art today was blowing leaves out of the rain gutter. Let me tell you something, my friend, or as I like to call it, awesome one. Preventing imminent damage to one's home or another person's home. That is the way it is, man. That is important work. What's up, Apex Comics? How are you doing? It's great to see you, my friend. They funny kids were the ones which were stress bunnies convinced they would tank. Sorry, let me make sure I get this. They would tank an exam and always got A's. Yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah, I totally know what you mean, man. Hail Apex Comics is channel member Jeremy Burtz, and you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. That's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun. We're here to draw comic books. We're here to make great comic books, and that's what we do. Some of us are making great comic books, great toys, great, everything. Like, there's so much cool stuff going on. It's like I see plenty to be excited about and optimistic about. That's really what it comes down to. There's so many cool creations that are coming out right now, and there's so many people that are in the Iron Age space. And when we talk about the Iron Age space, I just want to be really clear about this, because I think people sometimes get confused about it. Even I probably have been confusing about it. But when I look at people like the Townsends, they don't know who we are. They do 18th century stuff, but their whole plan, they're out of Indiana, their whole plan was to try to build a grassroots history channel. They have 2 million subscribers. They've never heard of Razor Fist. Maybe they have, actually. I know they've heard of me. Because they pronounce my name really well, so I know, or one of them does, so I know they probably watched a YouTube video from me before. But I consider them to be Iron Age because they're creating independent comics in this, or independent work, huge work in this space. And they've been around since the 70s. They've been around since the bicentennial, which is when John Townsend's father, God rest him, he passed away recently, John Townsend's father started doing historical reenactment supplies for folks. But with the advent of YouTube and with the advent of what they're doing, they have now turned into this massive educational resource for people who want to learn about the 18th century and history. I consider them to be Iron Age, and because they're just a part of this time period where we're doing independent stuff. And that's really what it comes down to. There's so many creators who I consider to be in that particular category. So that's what it's about. And they challenged me. What is the most common mispronunciation of Shanth? I got to be honest with you. The most common mispronunciation of my name is how it's spelled. Shanth. If this wasn't my name and I saw my name, I would say Shanth. My other favorites, top 10 or top 5, would be Shawneth, Shanth, Shantha. I've heard that one too. It is amazing, man. Shanth, can you drop a link for the Townsends? Yeah, I can, man. Yeah, I can. I would love to drop a link for them, and I would love to drop a link for... I want people to grasp what serious folks are doing in this space. Now, he has a whole team of people who work with him, but he built this. They built this grassroots, man. And the Townsends are freaking amazing. If you are not subscribed to them, you should be. They are very anti-politics in terms of talking about politics on their channel. They don't do it. They are... people have tried because, politics is sort of the poison that seeps into, everybody's, life. And, he actually... The only time I've ever seen John get annoyed was when people tried to misread politics in front of a historical dish that he made that George Washington used to enjoy. And he was like, if you talk about that stuff here, we will get rid of you. I do not give a dang about politics. I don't care about any of this stuff. He's like, for the love of God, this is ridiculous. Stop. And, like, we're here to get you away from that stuff. And you know what was beautiful? There were a lot of people, and I include my family and myself in this, who said to them after all the lockdown insanity, he said, you guys helped keep me sane during that time. You were so positive. And one of the things that he said, even though he didn't address all that stuff or make a habit out of it, he did a video called "We've Been Here Before." He goes, if you've studied history like I have, you know how often we have survived tremendous upheaval. A positive voice during a tough time is nothing to take lightly, and it's nothing to, to take for granted and to try to bring down. People think a lot of times that positive people haven't seen anything, and what you ultimately realize is some of the most positive, enthusiastic people you meet have seen some of the worst stuff you can imagine. And people think of it as naivete because it often makes them feel better for their crappy outlook on things and their negativity. But let me tell you something, man. A truly positive person, I've stared into extreme poverty in India. I've seen death. I've seen horror. I've seen all of that stuff. I am positive because I have seen all of that stuff. I made a decision at a certain point. Am I going to be all in on humanity, or am I just done with it? And I said, no, being done with it is for suckers, man. I'm all in on it. Is it perfect? Does it mean I'm going to be friends with everybody I meet? Nope. Does it mean I'm going to ever let anybody tell me what I'm going to do and have to do? Nope. Does it mean that I'm ambiguous about what my beliefs are? Not at all, man. Not at all. Read the Constitution if you want to know some of those. But I will not ever allow anybody to give themselves the comfort and be indulgent enough to say that being positive and not needing to turn everything into a freaking political nonsense is just not intelligent or is not thinking about things. Look at the Townsend's channel. It's a really good example. I'm here. What I respect the folks around me for is high level skill. That's really what it comes down to. People can talk, people can be whoever they want to be. People are often kind to me, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff. I'm grateful for all of you guys here in this chat. But let me tell you guys something, man. It's the relationships with people and the positivity. When I was doing videos, gosh, for a while, I can't remember how long. It probably wasn't that long because it is what it is. And I remember Ethan said to me, he's like, what's your rate? I want to commission you to do a Cyberfrog piece. And that was like my first paid gig inside of Comicsgate. Do you know what I mean? I'm never going to forget that, man. Like, that was a very cool thing. And Ethan will never see this stream because he doesn't. I know Ethan's too busy to watch my YouTube stuff, man. But it's like, I'm so grateful for that. John Malin, my first work that made it to publication was a tiny little corner in the first Visions book, where people were sending in fan art, and I was really excited about it, man. And yeah, back Cyberfrog, Red Extermination, by the way, while you're here, guys. There it is, guys. Ethan Van Sciver, man. Took a lot of freaking slings and arrows, man. Took a lot. Yeah, and Mike Barron, man, God bless him on Fund My Comic. Mike Barron has had a tough couple of weeks, and what a great guy. When I was showing off, let me tell you a story about this. So Mike wrote one of my favorite Punisher storylines, although he killed off a character that absolutely devastated me, which was the character of Conchita. I think it was in Punisher ongoing series number 17. It had a Will Portacio cover, if I'm not mistaken. And but Mike Barron, when I was showing Spring Ball, goes, hey, if you ever want to run the story by me for Spring Ball, send me accept my friend request on Facebook, man, and then we can talk. And I thought, what a terrific guy. And John has, got two pieces from me. One is me drawing someone else's character in the Visions book that's going to happen with Godlike. And it's like, and then of course, John invited me to do a double page spread of Lascivia, one of the characters from Nosfero. So in his pinup book of original characters, John invited me to do a double page spread, which is a painting I had a major breakthrough on of my own character. Like, I can't say it any fairer than that, man. I can't say it any fairer than that. I try to be positive and excited because these guys have made me laugh during tough times. I'll tell you one thing. During a really tough period, of just kind of feeling, you know, like nihilistic and not really. I mean, I don't really do nihilism, to be honest. Like what I say, give nihilism no quarter, is really kind of how I am. But I was just really annoyed by where pop culture was going. We're seeing, you know, the pendulum swing now, but it wasn't swinging then. And folks like Cecil and John would just crack me up to no end. I would just die laughing at all of the stuff they were doing. Just incredible. Just incredible. And so yeah, so I'm always excited for those guys. I actually got a little nostalgic for Jeff over at World Class. He did a recent video going through Ollie's and showing all of the toys there, which I don't know if he's done that for a while, but I know he's been doing some of that stuff. And I was just laughing at him going through, showing all of the stuff that hasn't sold, man. Positive is important. Yeah, I am relentlessly positive and optimistic. Amen, Eric, and God bless you. I've seen the Bowels of Darkness as well. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe deep the fresh air and cherish life for what we have. You know who my heroes are? People who really inspire me. Whenever I find myself in the emergency room, you know, whether it was, you know, before, you know, an emergency surgery for my appendix or you know, for I actually got formaldehyde poisoning from a chair, a bootleg chair that was being sold on Amazon, and my wife didn't know it was a bootleg chair, and it was like, oh, it was horrendous. But one of the things about it was, and like my breathing got all messed up. It was terrible. But I go into the emergency room. The nurses in the emergency room, man, we need these folks. Anytime you can thank a nurse, I mean, they get cussed at. They see people who work in the emergency room, like my late father-in-law, God rest him. They see the worst things that can happen to a person and the worst things that people can do to one another. And they will still come in and ask you how you're doing. The nurses will always say, can I adjust you your pillow? Are you cold? Can I get you another blanket? They know this stuff, man. And when I see them, I go, you want to tell me about real positive attitudes? People who have really tough jobs? Look at those folks. So any people who work in the healthcare industry, who are in Comicsgate, in and around, I know we got some former nurses, some former doctors. I know Tammy. Thank you guys so freaking much, man. Thank you for everything you do. And for all of you guys who are channel members, who back these books, who send super chats, who pay for these brushes, my cup runneth over. If I can give you guys a little bit of escapism and a beautiful, you know, work of art, whether it's an original head sketch, it's the book, or it's the prints that are included in this, by God, you know, that is what I'm here to do. I am happy to do it. And if this stream or any of the streams I do can bring you any joy and any peace some evening when you've got, you know, a day ahead of you of work, or you're wrapping up your day of work, then that to me is something that I am so grateful to have the opportunity to do. That's all there is to it. And if I can continue to talk and not screw up drawings, then even better. You know? Yeah, people are, cancel my Prime. Yeah, exactly. I've gotten very hesitant buying on Amazon. Yeah, they have too much janky China. Yes, they do. Yeah, Tammy D is awesome. Saw her on Jericho's for half a second earlier. Yes, indeed. Tammy D is awesome. Love Tammy. Tammy is great. Tammy is definitely one of the real ones. Much love to Tammy. Much love to Tammy. Has supported this channel a ton, by the way. Has been a Crypt Walker, past and present and future, and always grateful to see Tammy's support when I play the credits, man. Tammy is great. Now, got to make sure we let some air hit that thing, because I want to make sure I don't smear this when I'm putting this into the book. But this is going to be somebody's head sketch, man. You know, this is going to be somebody's head sketch. Rocky Ballesteros says, Sean's streams are great for when you have a nightmare at night because he's still awake. That's totally true, man. Do you remember Timmy Mello, channel member and one of my favorite freaking people, man? It is great to see you. Hail Timmy Mello, gals and vampires at this late night, early morning hour. Timmy Mello, I doff my cap to you, sir. It is great to see you. God bless you, and thank you for always supporting this channel and supporting me, man. You are a good egg and a good friend, and I thank you. So yeah, so I've got, this is my latest inked head sketch, and now I just realized something. I'll be right back. You guys will hear me. I'll be talking still, but I got to grab some bags and boards, man. It's like I finally went through them all. That's great. You guys are keeping me company. And let's see here. How many of these? How many of these do I need? It's so funny, too, because all the comics that I back from Comicsgate, they come bagged and boarded, and my local comic shop back in the day, you know, sometimes they would bag and board them, but this brings back really happy memories for me of getting bags and boards out and doing all of this stuff, man. That's what it's about, you know. It takes me back to my love of comics. Now, these are magazine-sized bags because this is an 8.5 by 11 book, and as I was mentioning earlier, with my one white glove on so I don't get fingerprints on these books when I'm drawing and signing them. The signing is going to go a lot faster, obviously, than the head sketches, but every single one of these books has got to be signed. And some people bought 2 books, so some of those orders and those backers, it's going to be more than 1 book, but we've ordered more than enough books to cover the spread. So here we go. Let me make sure I get this. Get my hand under there. And then slowly but surely make sure we get that right in there. This is the fun part of the job, honestly, is getting these ready to go to their new homes. And so once I get, let me zoom out a little bit here. Once I get these, there we go. Once I get these bagged, the cool thing is, because we hit that stretch goal, and because my wife and I, may very well have the business sense that God gave a squirrel, we decided that one of our stretch goals was going to be that everybody got a print, an 8.5 by 11 print of the cover. And so that was one of the big things that that was fun to do on this book. So this is not a book. This is the cover print that if you backed Nosferatu, not only are you going to get 2 trading cards, not only are you going to get that have artwork that's not in the book on them, not only are you going to get you know, the book itself, you're going to get a 8.5 by 11 print of the cover, so that if you like the art, you want to have it out, you can just tack that onto your wall, man. You know? So this is the print of the cover, and this right here is the cover itself on the book. And you can tell this is the actual cover because it's got the scoring for a square-bound book. So yeah, these are going to be beautiful, man. It's what it is, you know? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the key, right? That's how we do this stuff. We make cool comics. Some of us who lead the way, the true pioneers in Comicsgate, eat pies. You know who I'm talking about. I will tell you this, man. Okay, so here's a life goal I have. I don't know if it's going to work. You know, I don't know. I think this is probably something that Ethan will hear and be like going, I don't ever want to see you in real life ever. And that's all right. It's okay. I accept that. Ethan has a right to privacy. But it would be awesome to sit down and have an apple pie with Ethan at some point. I think that would be a great time. Just like, and I don't even drink, but I will tell you this. I would love to sit back and have either a Coca-Cola or a 40 with John Malin, because I was drinking 40s when I was a kid, so I think I could pull this off. Yeah, there are no nose puzzles except for me, you know. Yeah, frog and pie. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it makes sense. You know, I think it makes sense. Yeah. I'm not going to roll up on Ethan's warehouse with pies. Because, you know, what if, here's something to think about. So let's say I rolled up on Ethan's warehouse with pies and then I get intercepted by Andrea. You know, I mean, then, you know, Ethan's going to come out with like a phone and film me getting beaten up by Andrea. She's going to be like, you know, Ethan's on a diet or something. I don't want to die that way. I mean, kind of be fun. As long as the video went viral, it's fine. You know? Yeah, and I will tell you this. I do not typically leave my house. This is your best chance for getting my autograph for a head sketch ever. I go out and do, like, you know, things like every now and again, but I don't usually go to big crowded areas. But if there, at some point, I can assure you, I will definitely be going. See, there's a mark on this print. So this one ain't going to go in a book. So that's going in the discard pile. But I will definitely be going to a convention at some point because I do want to meet a lot of you guys, you know, when I go somewhere, and it'd be a lot of fun, man. Or Shanth or Jake or Bancroft. That's right. Yeah, man. 100%, man. Yeah, I'd rather meet Culture Casino. Yeah, I understand, man. Culture Casino is great. I watch him all the time. Yeah, it would be a blessing to meet anybody in CG. I agree. I love this crew, man. Yeah, Boocroft and Browncroft will get together at some point. It's going to happen. Yeah, drink if you got them, guys. Whoo-wee. All right, guys. It is... I will not discard puzzles. Awesome one, I promise. And I listen to awesome people, and you are literally labeled an awesome person, so I believe you. You should sell dinged and imperfect copies. Yeah, I probably will at some point. I'll probably sell, you know, scratch and dent sale for sure. When you're an introvert, but you work around 15,000 people at a given, so you have to fake being an extrovert just to get by. It's totally funny. It's totally true. Yeah, that's all the stuff people have to do. I met Jake and Bancroft in Tampa. See? There you guys go. There you guys go. Yeah, I'm wrapping up, guys. And I just want to make sure... Oh, yes, guys. Check out the Lucent Painted Death on Michael's website. Let me close with that because this is the painting where I'm slowly going mad as I do it. Speaking of, you know, being special, being the special person I am and all that implies, this painting is absolutely freaking bonkers. It is, actually, let me adjust, I'm going to adjust the gamma on this a little bit here because it's a little too blown out. This is a more realistic look at this cover. But this cover is absolutely insane. And I couldn't be happier to be doing this. You know, I've said this. I've been blessed with 3 projects this year, 3 commissions this year. One is for Razor Fist. One is, and then the 2 others are for my 2 closest CG brothers, which is to say, Michael Bancroft and Eric Weathers. And so, but outside of that, I got an Iron Age commission from my man Razor Fist. And so for those of you guys who have backed this book, I cannot wait to get a copy of this book. The hardcover version is going to have this included, and then there's also some posters that this is going to be on. But Razor Fist actually posed for this, so that's his hand, and that is his Bergman, what is it? Gosh, I always forget it now. But Model 3. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful painting. So with both of these, man, it has been a blast to work on them. And Michael's is about to get, you know, some nice mid-values in it and things like that. I just cannot wait to do this wash that I'm planning on doing over the painting to really make the colors pop. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for all that you guys do. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, channel members like Timmy Mello, man. It's you guys and Jeremy Burtz, man. You guys make this stuff happen, you know, and that's why your names are in the credits. And I'm going to be updating those credits with you know, to make sure that everybody who's on the credits is still a channel member, and to make sure that anybody who comes in who's new gets on there. I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for the link to Razor Fist. Rocky, my brother, let's do this. If you're up for just a quick chat on StreamYard, let me know. I'd love to say hey and see. Speaking of channel members coming in the clutch, Antoine Dennison, just as we're wrapping up. By the way, Antoine, and you can hit me up if there's a thing with it here in the chat. But I did get your message on Twitter, and just don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it, and that's all I'm going to say. So don't tell me, don't reply to this about what this is about. But Antoine, I've got you covered. I'm going to take care of that for you. All right? So nothing else needs to happen on your end. Thank you guys so much for being here. Much love to all of you. Thank you, channel members, for being here. I will update the credits for any of you guys who become new channel members, so just make sure I do that. And Rocky, if you could do me a favor, drop a link to your YouTube channel here so everybody can sign up and go over and make sure you're subscribed to Rocky's YouTube channel and watch these videos. God bless you, John. Thank you so much. Yeah, all of you guys are great, and it's great seeing you here in the chat. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, gang, I'm going to play the credits, and look for a text from me, Rocky, in a little bit. But make sure you get your YouTube channel in there so people can like and subscribe and all of that great stuff. Yeah, Nosfero Mafia. Become a channel member today. All right, gang, I will see you guys soon. All my Crypt Walkers, much love. Take care. And, yeah, as I always say, speak easy. Stay gold, keep the faith, and peace, because that is what my name means. God bless you guys. Much love.